Okay, welcome everyone. We are going to get started on our webinar tonight, which is staying in contact with your sphere of influence. I'm Rochelle Wilhite, designated broker of Best Choice Realty, and I'll be hosting tonight and going over some of the ideas that I wanted to share with all of you. These are some ideas that some of you may have tried or may have used, maybe just getting a different spin on it might be helpful tonight as you're going through your database and staying connected with your people. So I like the visual tonight because if you look at the left of the pipes that are on the left-hand side, your sphere of influence, if you don't work it and don't work it right, you know, it can feel overwhelming. And so what I'd like to do tonight is get you kind of positioned in a way that makes it simple, and then give you guys the tools or some ideas to keep it really organized and efficient so it works well. So that's my hope, is tonight you'll take away a few ideas that you might want to implement, specifically the email. So we'll go to the next slide. So your sphere of influence, for some of you that are newer to the business, I would highly recommend, if you're brand new to the business or you haven't read the book, 7 Levels of Communication by Michael. It is a great book. It's super easy to read. You could probably read it in a weekend, but you starts with kind of yourself, and then on the first little circle, and then who is your partner? Who are your kids? What's the extended family look like? What are the friends and acquaintances? And the 7 levels of communication really break down how you should be communicating with all of these different types of people. And it takes a different type of approach when he's discussing it on the best way to connect with all of these people that are in your circle. Next slide. So many people ask me, there's 2 questions that I want to address today is, do more leads equal more deals? And the other question I'll address tonight is, which CRM should I use? And many people ask me those questions throughout my entire career. And the answer to the first question, do more leads equal more deals? The answer is no. It does not mean that if the more you have in your pipeline, the more transactions or the more deals you're going to have. If you read the book, 7 Levels of Communication, it all comes down to how systematic, how consistent you are, and what you say, and how you personalize your approach with your database or with your pipeline. So no, the answer to the question is, do more leads. I've had brokers I've coached, and they've had thousands of people in their pipeline, and they may only have done 12 transactions in a year. It doesn't matter how many. Of course, if you were working your pipeline, say your 1,000, and you look at Dunbar's numbers and 100 people, and they know people and they know people, and you work it from your core group and work it out, yes, you could have a huge business, and a business that would last a lifetime, but not just because you have more people in your pipeline. In fact, many times where you have a big pipeline, or you have thousands of people in your database, or your size, maybe you're paying for leads and you've got so many leads in that pipeline, what often happens with those leads, or that pipeline size being so large, is that it basically hides the leads or the people you're working with that are really good, that are looking to buy or sell with you. So just because you have a large pipeline does not necessarily mean you're going to have more transactions. We've also seen brokers that maybe only have 20 people, but they work those 20 people or those 50 people in such a way where they don't need a big pipeline to be very successful in real estate, because of the way they organize themselves. The next question that I'll address tonight is, which CRM should I use? And the answer is, whatever CRM you're going to check on a daily basis. So if you're not currently using your CRM, then you may need to come up with a better or different way of connecting or building those relationships. It may not be the best CRM for you at this time. Now, I've been through many. I have been through Top Producer, Real Geeks, Follow Up Boss, Realty Juggler. I mean, there's Tiger Leads. I've got a list of like probably 2 pages worth of CRMs, or what they call client relationship managers. In essence, it's just a piece of technology that you should be frequenting regularly so that you can connect with as many people as possible. So the answer to your question, which CRM should I use? The one you will check regularly, the one you will work regularly. If you're not working it, even just an Excel spreadsheet, I have had that before, even Outlook. I love Hector. Hector is a First American rep, and I always ask him, do you use Constant Contact? Do you use a CRM? And he laughs at me every time I ask this question, because it's this very same thing. He uses Outlook. He uses a calendar, and he writes down on the calendar what agent he's going to follow up and what day. And that's what he uses as his CRM. It's literally his email provider. So whatever that CRM may be, it's just how do you contact those people? And that's ultimately what a CRM is really used for. So it doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't even have to be, we have a CRM you can use for free. You just need to be able to frequent that technology or that piece of technology often. So here's the frequency of contact. If you want to jot these ideas down, this is how I've worked my database or my pipeline since I started in real estate. And I know Candace works her pipeline this way. Many other top producers will also work their pipeline this way. And it might, for some of you that are newer, you might want to consider putting them in buckets so that you can then frequent them or contact them in the best way that makes sense over the long term. So new leads are new to the pipeline. Now, if you are working a database and growing the pipeline, which many of you should be doing, especially after COVID, and you're kind of trying to build your business, you should make it a goal for yourself to add new leads to your pipeline every week. So for me, when I was selling only, not managing, I would try to get at least 5 new people into my pipeline every week. And that was just a goal that I had on my whiteboard. It was something that I kept top of mind on a little Post-it note, so that I knew that that was something I wanted to accomplish. Now that might be me going to different social events. It might be me, Facebook wasn't even around when I was doing real estate, but it was me connecting with more people and adding them into my pipeline. So make that a goal. If you are new to the business or you don't have a big pipeline, work on trying to grow that and make a goal for yourself to add new leads into your pipeline. The other thing to do is on your current clients, you want to make sure that you're showing them, you're listing them, you want to put them into a bucket. Those are people that you pretty much are talking to almost on a daily basis if you're in contract. Any new homes that come on the market, any listings that they need to be aware of in their neighborhood, all of those current clients need to be very aware of who you are and that you're their advocate or their consultant. The hot will be buying in the next or selling in the next 0 to 3 months. So they are somebody that you want to contact. Your frequency on your hot should really be every week. You are running down your list of your hot people, making sure you've contacted or you've had some sort of exchange, either by text, by email, by mail, by drip, by something. There has to be some sort of contact for your hot if they're going to be buying or selling in the next 3 months. Don't lose track of them, because sometimes your hot will say they're hot until something happens. Again, they're ready, they're willing, and they have the ability to buy. If they're selling, they're probably talking about, I do want to get my home on the market before the election. Those are the kind of things that would trigger a hot buyer or seller. Nurture are those people in your pipeline who have expressed to you, yes, Rochelle, I'm going to be wanting to do something with real estate in the next 10 to 12 months. For me, it's about 12 months. I look at my year at a glance and I put them into a category. Currently, I have about 65 people in my pipeline that have expressed to me that they are interested in either buying or selling, or they know somebody that's buying or selling in the next 12 months. So that can be a very, very big category that you can work. If you have a database size of 50 or 60, you may want to consider partnering with somebody that can help you nurture, because as you know, I'm managing and it's hard for me to nurture that many people. And then you have your cold. Those are people that I hate the word cold, but that's kind of where sometimes they fall, because they're not going to be buying or selling in the next 12 months, but you have made contact with them and they receive your newsletter every single month. They know you're in the real estate business. They know that they can refer business to you. Cold, you don't need to make as much contact with, but an e-newsletter and maybe a mail out is perfectly fine with your cold people. These are people in your sphere who have no interest. I've got people on there who have lived in their home. They're going to probably die in their home, but they refer business to me because they know I'm in the business. And so I consistently market to them either e-newsletter or some sort of mail piece or a combination of both with my cold. Closed clients, you want to keep them in that category for 30 days to make sure that you take care of them. They get their the vendors, or they need carpet cleaners, or they need cleaners, or they need different types of things related to their purchase or their sale. And then that gives you 30 days where you can determine where should they land. Should they be in nurture? Will they be buying or selling the next 12 months? Or will they be cold, or will they be hot? Many people need to sell before they buy. So that's where their account would land in my database or my pipeline. Next slide. Here are some ideas. A lot of you are like, well, gosh, it's so great. I have my system all organized like you have it, Rochelle, but I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. Here are some things that have been recommended to me, or that Candace might recommend to you. I've done everything that you have here on this list, but you want to get very, very personal. And so one of the things that we did recently with my nurture is that we went on Facebook and we looked to see what their last 2 posts would be. And then we personalized an email that went out to them. And it didn't sound like it was spam. It wasn't my e-newsletter that goes on about the market stats. It didn't look like it was automated. It wasn't a home listing or a new listing that hit the market. It literally was just a personal checking in email, which I'll share with you in a minute. But that is something that you can do, and it does not cost you any money. It just costs you a little bit of time, and it would be something that would be well worth your time to do. Some of the things that I've done before, pop buys, farming your neighbors. One of the ideas that I've done that works really well is there's some yellow pads of paper that you can get that are lined. Office Depot sells them. You probably get on Amazon as well. But basically what you do is you just write a handwritten note and you put your name and your phone number. You don't leave a business card, and you literally leave that on the doorsteps. I was in the area checking out your neighbor's home. I sold it 2 months ago, and I wanted to let you know I'm the neighborhood expert in the Lakeland Hills area. And then you sign your name and you put your phone number on there, and you drop those yellow notes. You fold it in half so they can't see what it is, chuck it under their doormat, and then you've done a pop buy, or you've left something of value. If you have any questions about the neighborhood values, please give me a call. Or you can text me, and you handwrite that on that yellow piece of paper, and you leave that on all the doors around, say a listing that you were taking, or you're doing a pop by and you want to say hello to a friend that you sold a home to in that neighborhood, and you want to work that neighborhood. That's a great idea to learn your neighbors and do some pop buys. Birthday cards, they are very impressed. Simply, you can go to Facebook and you can find out probably about 75% of your friends or your family or any of your sphere. You could find out when their birthday and actually send them a birthday card, handwritten card, or send them a video message. I've done both. Both work really well. Again, just saying happy birthday on Facebook doesn't get you any kind of notice, but a personal handwritten card, a birthday card, or a video kind of message that can be even pre-done and sent to them goes a long way. They love to see your face, and they also like to get stuff in the mail. So those are some great ideas that I've used. Thank you cards work well, volunteering, wearing your name tag, all of these things I have done in the past to connect with my sphere of influence, and everything works on this sheet. It's just a matter of when you do it and how you do it and what you say. So we'll go to the next slide, Jan. So Candace Frazier, we brought Candace in just about a month ago to really support kind of the growth of the business and help you one-on-one with ideas and like diagnosing, what do I do with my sphere of influence? And one of the things I loved about Candace that she does regularly is she may not, be like a technology wizard, but she does things every single day that is prospecting related, and what she calls her top 25 of the day. And I apologize, Candace, if I didn't get your approval. I'm sure you'll be fine with me sharing this with everyone tonight. But she basically has this this little cheat sheet, and she just marks it off as she does things. Now you could change this up. For me, I would probably do the 5 calls. I like that idea. You got to make that human interaction, especially after and during COVID. 3 notes. So I'm sure she's doing handwritten notes. Face to face, those would be, for me, it would be Zoom meetings. If I could do that on a daily basis, 1 Zoom meeting a day, that's 5 appointments or 5 face to faces a week, which would generate, I know because I've done it before, Candace, that would generate me at least 5 to 10 sales a month. If I did face to face every single day for that much, so 5 days a week, 20 a month, I would easily have 5 sales a month. So again, you may want to adapt this to what you're trying to accomplish, but this is what she does on her top 25 a day. She's liking 10 people's things on Facebook. I would say with your commenting on Facebook, don't just say, love this or like it. Make it a point to actually comment on people, because then they will actually see more of your posting and more of what you're up to. Facebook has their own algorithm. So comment versus like. I think you're going to get more bang for your buck on the commenting than the liking. So as much as I like to like stuff, I actually increase my numbers, Candace, on the comments to like 10 comments a day. And then I start to see people on Facebook that I really want to see, and they see what I'm up to, and they have more interaction when I actually send them a handwritten note. Friend requests, again, that's adding people to your database. That's 5 a week. That's pretty good. If you're actually doing a friend request on Facebook, you could use Facebook as a CRM. Some of you have done that and have done it very well. And then what I like about what she's got on her top 25 is the results of the day. You can keep these sheets, and every single day you can look back and say, how did I do on that day? You know, you could write a little note to yourself. I connected with 3 people, woohoo, or I had a rough day. It's a way for you to self-coach or self-analyze how well you're doing with your prospecting. Next slide. So here, you guys, I did this email and I was like, I don't know if this will work, but it worked beautifully. Again, these are people I have not talked to in a very long time. So hi, Carrie and Jake, always address them with their first names. I think that goes a long way. If you just typed a message, you may not get that. It may sound too scripted, or they can think that you're copying and pasting. Always say hello or hi and use their first names with a comma. Then I put the paragraph, which the first paragraph, it took me literally, it didn't take me long at all. 5 minutes is all it took. I went onto Facebook to see what their last post was. I love the beautiful photos from the Grand Canyon. It looks like you had an awesome time and had beautiful weather. How fun to take your first helicopter ride. What a fun vacation. I'm sure it was nice to get away from a little bit. Any more exciting plans for the summer? Again, a question will usually generate a response. Even though you may not, and this is the part where you can copy. I literally would take it verbatim what I've written here. Even though you may not be in the market for real estate right now, I'm always here for questions and advice. Please let me know if you or anyone you know are needing any real estate resources or local contacts for repairs or for refinance. Best, Rochelle. Literally, that's all I sent. I got so many responses, I can't even keep up with it this week, you guys. I literally sent it out, took about 5 minutes to craft a little email, and I got a ton of responses. And my subject line, if you want it, was just checking in. It's very simple. Another one, same philosophy. I love seeing the pictures of the kids. I can't believe how big they are getting. I hope you have been able to find some fun adventures to go on this summer with our beautiful weather we have been having. We were able to go kayaking last weekend, and it was so nice to just enjoy nature for a few days. Again, we're talking about personal, we're talking about family, we're talking about friends, whatever it may be. I just gathered that intel from Facebook. And again, the same paragraph that I used before. So again, it's just personalizing that first couple sentences at the beginning. Next slide. Now the same thing, you can get my gist here. I'm loving all the different recipes you are posting on Facebook. I'm going to have to try some of them. They look delicious. I hope you have been able to find some time during this beautiful summer weather to take the dogs to the beach. I'm sure they love running around. Again, I know that Helen loves dogs. She posts everything about her dogs. Her dogs are her life. Helen has expressed interest. She was in my nurture category where I thought she would be selling her home and wanting to buy another one. And she responded to this email and basically said, yes, Rochelle, I definitely want to stay connected with you. You came up on my mind just the last month. Again, I've been sending her the monthly newsletter, but I haven't really done a good job of personalizing my emails. And again, it just takes a little bit of nurturing to get them to respond in a personal way back to you. Same paragraph at the very end. Now, the other thing that I've been doing with my sphere of influence is I have been sending them out. Maybe I've done a horrible job at staying in contact or doing prospecting, but I have been sending this out so that they know that I'm in business. Now, do I send this out to everybody? No. Do I handpick who gets the magazine? Yes. What I send to them is a high quality 52-page magazine. It goes out 6 times a year to their home address. It's about $4 per person per issue. So there is a cost associated with doing this, but I basically have set it and I've forgotten about it. Now that I've been doing for the last, I think 3 years, and it's more than paid for itself because they know that I'm in real estate. Really, it's a branding piece. I'd rather send them something like this of value than to not send them anything at all. If you are doing something like magnets, or you're doing more items of value to them, you may not need to do a print magazine, but I do like the way this looks. My neighbors love it. My close clients love it. People that want to see that there's some design ideas or recipe ideas, those types of things are in this magazine. So it definitely fits most of the needs. But again, it's not for everyone. And I can decide who I want to be on my magazine list and who I don't want to be on the magazine list. Next slide, there is another magazine list. So that's the one I use. Candace uses This American Lifestyle. The reason she likes the American Lifestyle is because the frequency she can control, where with the other one, you have to do 6 times a year. With the print magazine, she does other items of value throughout the year. And so she likes this one because it only goes out 4 times a year, but she has to send it out to a minimum, I think, of 75 people. Again, the cost is about the same as the other magazine. There are 2 print magazines, and both are, I would say, are competing with each other, but both are very, very nicely done. And it does have your branding, your information, and you have the ability to customize certain pages of the magazines. So I love those 2 options, and it's something we've done for a long time. Next slide. The e-newsletter has been often debated in our office. So I do want to tell you guys, we do have a resource in-house. Some of you have taken advantage of the e-newsletter option that we have. For $25 a month, what we can have is it can be customized to you, where it has your picture, a different header on the top. We pick the listings. You can pick 3 listings if you want and send them to Lori. And it has it all. It's connected with your website, or you can have it go to your home bot. But basically you have the first part of the e-newsletter and then the second on the right-hand side. But that's something that I have Lori do for me every single month. She creates the newsletter, then I just take it and I email and blast it out to my entire database, my sphere of influence. If I have an email address, they're getting an e-newsletter. If they've opted out, they said, take me off the list, I'll opt them out. But it's very easy to do with my CRM to send them out an e-newsletter. If you are not sending an e-newsletter, it's going to run anywhere from $15 to $25. I just like that we can customize in-house now. And if you do want to participate, just let me know and I will put you on a list that we can get you going as far as getting that set up and getting it more regular for you so that you have something very nice that you can send out to your clients. And again, you can customize what listings go out or what articles get sent out, but you do have to work with Lori to get that done. Next slide. We're going to talk about HomeBot more in detail next week. I actually have one of the developers who are going to be joining us for Wednesday, not this Wednesday, but next week's Wednesday, to understand what HomeBot is all about. But I've started using HomeBot several months ago. It's a tool that basically helps them, instead of going to get your Zestimate or your online valuation, it's an interactive website, a bot that they can basically get, and they can do all kinds of, what is my Airbnb rates? What would it be like if I refied? It's a way for them to use this calculator that's very, very good. And it's based on their sales, based on the interest rate. It really kind of puts a lot of thought and time into how that comes at. And then you get a report And you could do up to 25 of these without paying anything. So if you have 25 people that are actively, you think are actively in your sphere, you might want to join me next week and learn how to basically use the tool to drive more activity to HomeBot and then basically grow it from there. I have approximately 100 people that are in HomeBot, and many of them actively use it. And it's nice because I can see how much they open it, how much they're utilizing it. And it's a great way for me to connect with them when they need an actual CMA, or to put them in touch with my lender to actually have them get refinanced. So it's a great way to get that connection to happen. Next slide. And that's all I've got for tonight. And I am right at 5:57. That's pretty good timing on tonight's session. Any questions that I can answer from any of you while we've got a few minutes? Anything else that's working for you? And maybe I'll open it up and let Candace share. Candace, if you want to unmute your line, you're welcome to share what's working.
I think everything that was stated today was great. I'm going to try the HomeBot. I actually get it from my lender. So like too, if that is something that works for you, it might be something you can reach out to a lender that you're working closely with if there's a cost later on, and kind of co-market that. I get it from my lender, so I didn't know that it was something that I could use as well for my clients too. So
yep. You can do up to 25 for free. So that's what's cool about it. And then if you want to partner with a lender, they share in the cost. And we can go over all of that next week. So it's kind of a cool app. If you haven't done it for yourself, many lenders have, you could get an account through a lender, and then they can actually, you can see what your house value and see what your clients would see. It's pretty cool. Jason Ferrando, one of our agents, actually was a lender, and it's like, Rochelle, you need to check out HomeBot for your house. And so before I actually used it for my clients, I was using it with him. And it's really awesome how you can do a lot with that app, with that bot. Yeah. So love that idea. Anything else, Candace, that's working for you?
I think for a lot of people, and some of the agents that I've spoke with and have worked with so far, getting really good feedback on the 25 a day. And just kind of a reminder that you just need to tweak it and make it your own. It's not anything to make a big something out of it, but the idea that you're doing the majority of those tasks daily and doing them consistently. Once again, it's something for me that worked really well. I do it with my eyes closed now. It's kind of like natural, second nature. I'm automatically spending that time doing those activities on a daily basis. And I can tell you, even now, still today, and stepping up and doing something more in a position where I'm doing other jobs throughout the day, I'm still getting leads through Facebook, sometimes about 3 or 4 a week.
Wow.
Not that everything turns into something, but then it's now that next person, okay, I get to put this in my database. Sometimes it's just a refinance, but being a resource for your friends, family, your past clients, that's where it's all at. That's where it comes back around. So sometimes I'm sending them to a lender for a refinance, but they come out of that so happy and they send somebody else and somebody else.
How long do you think it takes you to do? I've kind of timed myself, Candace, on how long it takes me to do my daily activities. And my daily activities obviously are a little bit different than yours for prospecting for my business. But how long do you think it takes you to get through your 25 a day?
An hour, unless I wind up on a phone call. An hour. Yeah.
So it's not a lot. I mean, we're talking 5 hours a week, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Any questions, Shannon? We'll go ahead and open it up for questions at this time.
One of the questions was just kind of circling back and figuring out what CRM is offered by Best Choice.
Great question. And we offer this, I don't know if you guys knew this, but we offer a free CRM. It's through Real Geeks. Real Geeks is not owned by Zillow. That's why I selected them. They have a way to set up automatic home notification searches. It is connected to your page, to your website. So you can basically access that CRM from your page. And it's something we train on every Thursday. So you guys are welcome to jump on a Zoom. It's a different Zoom meeting room link. You can find it on our Best Choice Realty calendar on our resource guide for that link, but we welcome anybody. You don't have to be on the lead program to just jump on and get trained on what should I do, or how do I access, or what, how do I use the system. A lot of videos, a lot of things you can learn on your own. It's a pretty simple CRM, but we offer that free of charge. All you need to do is get yourself a login and password, and then we'll send you the link, and then you can start loading people in. Again, 5 people a week would be what I start with, and then you'll just grow from there. And you can do all of the things that we talked about using that CRM. You can set up notifications, you can text, you can email, you can send mail pieces, you can do postcards through that, you can export, and you can do Christmas cards, you name it, it can be done with that CRM system as well as anything else. And again, it doesn't cost you anything. So again, it has to be something that you'll check regularly. And if you won't check it, then there's no sense in even putting it into that system, because it's something you won't check. But yeah, it's free for anybody at Best Choice Realty to use. And then Thursday, it's at 10 a.m. is we do a training session every Thursday at 10 a.m. Okay, anything else, Shannon?
No, that's the only questions we had. But for those who are wanting a copy of that 25 a day, I know I had at least 1 or 2 people reach out to me already about it. We can get that out to you guys with all the links to this recording as well later this week.
Okay, awesome. Okay, well, nice and quick call. Have a great week and stay cool, everyone. It's hot out there. And don't forget, tomorrow we have the playbook. If you want to jump on tomorrow at 11 o'clock, Candace and I will be on that call, just going over some other tips and tricks that we pulled from the playbook that might spark some interest or get you guys excited about some other ideas that might improve your business. So have a great week, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.